Hello, hello. This is a quick testing. One, two, three. All right. Welcome everybody to the last buzzer live stream. In this case, um, let's have a quick recap, right, of what has been going on with the hackathon. What is the current state and what is the um, upcoming stuff in the next few days, right? So first of all, this is the 11th episode in a series of live stream. Um, we included in that the first five episodes were strictly workshops, very focused workshops on on how to participate in the hackathon, how to set up the Canon agentic configuration, and how to set up the Canon TUI, the terminal user interface. And then we went through how to set up the first automation, how to tweak it, and much more after that. And yeah, that took like five episodes, and from there we've been doing updates on what have been added or what are the changes coming to Canon in the in the process that we are already running also for the hackathon, right? So yeah, a lot of progress has come from the early days in the first couple live streams. Okay, so we also as a part of the recap, we had the hackathon, which has been running from now getting to the numbers, right? We have the hackathon that has been running from May 31st and it's going to run all the way through today, June 19th, and all the way through the end of the day, right? So today is um, the last day that you will be able to do updates and push them to your repository, and they be counted as a still part of the hackathon updates, right? Okay, the numbers, right? Because that was like the summary of what has been happening from May 4th, or even prior of May 4th, all the way through today, which is June 19th. Okay, so in the participation, we have 187 builders registered as part of the hackathon in Dora Hack. From those builders, we have actually 23 submissions, right? People that has been um, able to create the project and actually submit something to actively participate in the hackathon, right? Also, just as I mentioned here, we have five turnkey live templates to fork from, and also we have the generic one, which allows you to start from a base and then add a couple of stuff that you might want to add for a new strategy. So it's like a clean canvas strategy, right? So that is what we have available in Canon at this stage. Um, I already summarized. Yeah, we had 11 live sessions, including five specific workshops, and from there, update videos as well as shout outs to those who have participated in the build submissions. Also, I want to reiterate the price is 1,000 USD in a stablecoin that's going to be delivered to a single winner. So it's not a multiple prices um, total summary, but it is a single price to the winner. Second, let me check a couple of things here. My notes. All right. So now that we are near the, okay, just to be clear here, once again reiterating, the participation period spanned from May 31st, when you first were able to submit your your bill, but of course you continue working on it and you continue making pushes to GitHub all the way through June 19, which is today, right? So today is going to be the last day, and from then, no more changes are allowed, and the active participation is closing today, and then we have the time for judging and, of course, the winner announcement. So now linking into judging, what is going to be judged on, right? This has been stated across multiple live streams, but it was clear since the first workshop, the one explaining how the hackathon works and how it was going to be judged. Okay, so we have four sections here. First one is going to be real world utility. This is more to do with with the live execution of the automation, right? So being able to actually run the automation live, that is the specific like real world utility and impact, right? Because we all know we can have ideas back tested in in processes running if we're doing like paper trading and non-real actions on the market. But when you put the money on your ideas and actually run it for real actions on the market, that's going to give you an edge on the real world utility, right? But of course, this is going to be not only based on running it live, right? I mean, if you didn't run it live, but you have logs of how it run, and of course, we're going to see the configuration. That's going to as well be considered part of the risk management and adaptability. Um, I'm saying some examples always about these judging criteria is let's call it, if you added a new risk management, a new gate, a new verification prior to taking action on an opportunity, that is going to be considered in two criteria. For example, it's going to be on innovation if you added something new that is not there, and if you just like not necessarily added something new, but you are making changes and taking more relevance or different approaches to the risk, that's going to be considered into how you actually manage the risk, even though it might not have run live, right? Okay. The second section, technical execution and design. This is very, as the name implies, technical, right? So this is about code quality. Is it clean? Um, does it uses properly the Canon framework? Because you can build your own automation, but if you're not using Canon's framework tooling, that is not going to give you good points on the technical side of it, right? As well as making sure that tests are running correctly and we have proper documentation, right? So if took one of the you took one of the templates, you made modifications, and the tests are outdated, that's going to have a negative impact, right? as well as the documentation. But if you took the template, you made your changes, you updated the test, you updated the documentation to be clearly describing your specific version of the of or flavor of the template, then that is going to give you good points on the technical execution and design. All right, so item number two is technical and like the deep coding, deep quality of the automation. Okay, number three on the criteria, we have innovation and creativity. I think this is the one that I have gone about the most, that I have explained the most. This case is having the the creativity side, for example, is adding something new, right, or a different approach to how you read the data from the markets and the APIs, right? For example, we have had a couple submissions that added ESPN for news. That would be something a bit different than what we Canon provided, right? Because Canon was wholly focused on numeric values, and we have seen a couple of the submission have news for what we of course it does have like a both part of it, because on a statistic you can get information if you are tracking injuries and some other stuff, but couple of the submission have news on a kind of sentiment way, right? Because if a good player is expelled by some kind of fault or injury, then taking actions, but it's not wholly focused on statistics, right? So that is where innovation and creativity comes into play. How you mix and match and implement also new modules, right? In this case, I was talking about the ESPN API, right? But there are many other options that you can do, right? Canon came out of the box, including the um, module for the odds. The odds is going to give you scores about games, but we're talking about um, adding new ones, right? So there are plenty and many other options that you can add. As we say, ESPN in this case was for news, but yeah, there are many providers and options in order to reach the innovation in criteria, right? And even if multiple people did the same API, it doesn't mean that they are going to get the same punctuation, because it depends on what they did with the implementation, right? How they use it. So that comes into implementing something comes into innovation, and how you use it comes into creativity. So yeah, that's number three. Creativity, new stuff added to the flow, and how it affected, or how deep is the usage of those new modules. That is creativity, and also innovation. Okay, number four. The four criteria is the presentation and demo. And for this, I have a clear announcement prior to discussing about it. Is that make sure that your submission is open to public view. Um, we have, I think, it's only one submission that doesn't have the public visibility of the video. We have requested access via the native solution, right? Clicking on request access, and also we have sent an email to the participant in order to get it approved. Um, Most of the other demos are visible. They are okay. So now going back into the real criteria, no, that was just the announcement of making sure it is accessible, viewable. Um, for presentation and demo, in this case, we're interested in judging the the entire thing, right? It's not only about um, you going into the code. It's not only about you going into the live execution of the terminal. It's about the entire presentation of the submission, right? So has to do with how it was done or built, the presence that the video provides, the clarity of the idea that is explaining, then actually seeing it, because that is um, that is going to empower the submission, and yeah, like sell the actual submission, right? So if we're talking about, let's do one other example here. If we're talking about once again having a sentiment and news implementation, right? So in this case, we have something that is innovation. We're going to implement it in the flow. Um, we do it cleanly, so that give us good points on the technical side. Um, and we consider it for the risk management because it is news in the end, right? So what about fake news, right? Of course, we try to implement a good source API, but what about the speed of the information? Do we know if it is coming at the right time? So all of that has to be taken into account for the risk management. Um, some APIs might have the date of the news, right? So you can do, for example, a check of how old is the information that you're getting. If it is too old, then don't take action on it. And if it is recent, you can take action. So that is going to give you the first three. Um, that's going to give you a good punctuation for the first three, right? So that will be implementing it, using it, taking into account for the risk management and how it's going to affect the actual performance. And since you made the implementation, of course, making sure the code is clean, adding the unit test for it, and add it to the documentation. So that is going to give you a full coverage of the first three criteria. But then coming to the last one is on the video how you present. I implemented this new idea, which is not present, and this is bringing something good, great value to the table in the execution, and how clear in 3 to 5 minutes, how clear I can explain that to you being the public, or in this case, the judge, right? How quick, simple, clear, conveying the idea of the actual submission, right? So I come here, I'm going to tell you I implemented news and sentiment. I took into account the risk. I did it cleanly in code. It is documented, and I convey the proper information cleanly on a video. That's a good punctuation for the video. And actually, of course, seeing it running is also taken into account, right? So yeah, those are the four judging criteria. I summarize it in the example as an example, but once again, bullet by bullet. Real world utility. Did you run it live? Yes or no? Do you took into account risk, adaptability for current and existing logic as well as new logic? For the code, number two, for the code, how clean is the code? Does the unit test works? Did you update the documentation according to your proper flavor of the template? And if you implemented something new, all of the all of the all of the items have to be reconsidered again, right? Did you implemented it? Okay, so does it have tests? Is it documented? All of that. Number three, innovation and creativity. What else? What new modules have been added? How are they used by the automation, right? And number four, taking all of that, wrapping it into a good package, video, simple and cleanly explained with clarity for the, let's call it, for the sale of the automation, right? Selling the idea. All right. So those are the four judging criteria. So, what's happening next, right? We have the cutoff later tonight. It's going to be, later in the day, which is tonight. Um, all the iteration windows closes, and now we have like the final version of it. So if new updates comes by tomorrow, the the entry might have already been reviewed and therefore not taken into account, right? So tonight is the last um, push accepted. From there, we have June 20 to 22nd. That's going to be um, the weekend, and also taking some time into the early days next week. It's going to be judging time, right? So we need to allow the judges enough time in order to properly review the entries, code, um, executions, and the presentation, right? So we need to allow that time. That's going to be from June 20 to 22nd. And then on June 23rd, the winner is going to be announced. It's going to be, once again, $1,000 in stablecoin, single price to the winner of the hackathon. So yeah, definitely keeping in check of the Discord, and also the DEGA channels. Like announcement are going to be done on X, right? And also, of course, it's going to be announced in the internal DEGA Discord server in the specific prediction market hackathon, and the winner will be contacted by email as well. Okay, so coming to the end of this cycle, in this case, which is the iterations of the submission that are actively participating in the hackathon, I want to say thank you to everyone that has had the opportunity and taken the time in order to build something, right? We had a time on our last live stream to go through a couple of the submissions, and yeah, we have seen that people has built something. They have added modules, they have added different considerations for the new implementation that they've done. So definitely, I want to thank the community for being part of the hackathon, actively participating, and yeah, don't hesitate. Even though it is last day, don't hesitate to come to the Discord server. We can have a chat on multiple topics, of course, about the hackathon, about participation, submissions, um, prediction market in general, right? Don't hesitate to come to the Discord server. We're going to have a quick chat there, and of course, not only, as I said, not only specifically to the hackathon, but yeah. All right, and these things I wanna do like a quick go through, run through the numbers again, because to you I'm saying thank you to the 187 builders registered on door hacks, to the 23 submission builds. Um, of course, we can see we can only see it as a single build, but some of them might be team efforts or community efforts. And thank you very much for your participation. We have had 11 lights, and yeah, we have been going through this um, in a very good and pleasant way to have this hackathon. Thank you very much for taking the time, for participating, watching the live streams, watching the recap videos, and building with us for this hackathon of prediction markets. So that has been it. That's the final poster, right? From today, we're going to see you on June 23rd, which is going to be the announcement. Don't forget, if you want to go through the past videos, you can find those on DEGA.org on YouTube. We have the full Canon playlist for the specific hackathon, and of course, you can have some you can have a view to the other content that is available in the DEGA YouTube channel. Um, as I as I mentioned again, Hackathon has taken place in Dora Hacks, NBA Prediction Market, and you can come to the community discord.gg/DEGA. That's the official DEGA server, and in there we have multiple channels. And for this specific topic is the prediction market hackathon. So thank you very much for your time. Thank you the for the pleasure of being working and participating in the hackathon together. So that is going to be it for me. Thank you very much.